stop spending and lower taxes, confidence and resources are restored to the actual revenue producers. Businesses keep jobs. More money goes back to Washington and less goes out. Washington then might actually have the money to keep Medicare and Social Security solvent. Would someone please tell Congress that their trillion-dollar spending will cause them to borrow, creating more deficits? They will have to raise taxes, which is bad for the economy. Their Treasury has printed $1 trillion in paper money, and in 2 to 3 years, that equals inflation. Short, bailouts, non-stimulus stimulus, government seizures, omnibus, deficits, taxes, inflation, cap and trade, government-ruined health care. How are we supposed to sleep at night? Would someone please tell Congress and the trial lawyers running Washington that the state of California at one time had a surplus, spent it on entitlement programs, and now is in debt for $26 billion? Texas, on the other hand, which has no income or state sales tax in 2008, a year of economic downturn, created more jobs than all 49 states combined. Obamonomics. Education is not a stimulus. It is an important issue that every president needs to address. Alternative energy exploration. We should do it, but it's going to give what? Maybe 12 scientists a job? Immigration. This administration wants to give amnesty to illegals, offer them retroactive Social Security benefits, and nationalize health care. But hey, if you can find a way to get 12 million extra votes, you basically have a one-party system.
We already do.
Socialized medicine. It will not create jobs. They tried it in Massachusetts. Hundreds of nurses were laid off and the state is bankrupt.
How about that?
Great Britons and Canadians are worried that they will no longer have the option to go to the country that has the best quality health care system in the world. They like their system until they need ours. Competition always breeds quality. When the government takes over any institution, it becomes wasteful, ineffective, and corrupt. Barack Obama touts the government option as competition. It might be for a little while until the consumer opts out of the employer-based plan in favor of the cheaper, non-tax, less effective model. Or the employer just does away with its non-tax write-off expenditure. The result is that many small insurance companies will be run out of business. Money talks. Physicians will be paid less, and the healthcare industry will no longer attract the best or the brightest. The end result will be a government-run monopoly. How does Congress propose to pay for single-payer health care? They really don't know. They just know that they are going to do it and fast before people wake up or the next congressional election. Here are some of their proposals. Increase income taxes by 7%. Use $313 billion from Medicare, which is already underfunded. Rob Peter to pay Paul. Dictate services from age 65 and over. You can forget about your golden years. Abolish the tax write-off for the employer. Tax your employer benefit as income. Cap the itemized deductions on those making over $250,000. There are not enough people anymore making over $250,000. Pay for doctors' education to soften the blow for the shrinkage in their income. Slow funding for new technology. Institute an electronic system between the physician and the government. The physician sends your electronic health record to Washington, and Washington sends your plan of treatment back. What are free market solutions? Allow all medical deductibles, premiums, and expenditures to be 100% tax deductible. This would allow financial consumer relief and allow the power and decision-making to stay in the hands of the healthcare consumer and their physician. Insurance co-ops need to be aggrandized where hundreds of similar types of businesses and professions can cross state lines to have more purchasing power. Hospitals, which are already in the business of healthcare, could become mini insurers and offer an array of inexpensive service policies. President Obama wants to increase the income tax rate from 28% to 40%. We say lower the income tax rate so that American business owners and investors are confident enough to invest in America. This is the only way to create jobs and sustain a growing economy. Government stimulus has never worked, and it won't work now, just ask Japan. Do not encourage increase the corporate income tax rate by 25%. We say lower it to 12.5% like Ireland. President Obama wants to double the capital gains tax, lower the capital gains tax to create confidence in the U.S. economy. The trillions will start to flow. There are over 200 million citizens all striving to reach the American dream. Okay. I can't do it all. I want an America that understands a free democracy gives them a right to vote. One time, but with that right comes a responsibility to know what you are voting for. Americans did not do their homework on this administration. The good news is that we are a resilient people, and eventually we learn from our mistakes. 2010 will be different. My challenge to every one of you honorable patriots is to scream the truth from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, and the next election drags 4 newly educated people to the ballot box that would not normally be there. We call this T-corn. Taxed enough already, coming out for redress now. Finally, our ancestors understood the principles that have made this nation the greatest nation of all time. It is the nation that always gives. It is the nation that has every other nation's back. It was the nation that recognized evil when it saw it. Do not let any president or any government tell you that America is less than or equal to any other. Our ancestors that built this country understood that when you elevate the corrupt, the irresponsible, the non-producers to the top of the food chain, the whole system fails.
Got that right.
Change is coming, ever growing, bubbling up from the greatest force in this great nation. We, the people,